Good actually, it's morning for me. But hello to you in whatever time zone or part of the day that you're in. Oh, I'd already started talking and I don't think it was started yet. So, hi, welcome everyone. My name is Jessica. If you are a member of the group, you know that already. And today I am going to be talking about shadow work. I talked about shadow work a little while ago as one of the themes of the month of what I've been posting, but there's there's more than a week's worth of content when it comes to the shadow, and I thought it would be particularly fitting to talk about it with the eclipse that we just had. We had the solar eclipse with the new moon, and then we just wrapped up a pretty heavy duty eclipse in Scorpio last Sunday into Monday, depending on what time zone that you're in. And what happens with the eclipse, it's all about the shadow because it is the moon being shadowed by the planetary alignments, and when that shadow gets highlighted, which is kind of funny to say, can you highlight a shadow? When we become aware of all of that shadow, it can get really uncomfortable. So I don't know about you, but I found it particularly challenging. And the theme for this one was about a lot of the wounds being brought to the surface, the things that were really tucked into deep corners of your psyche, or of your life. I know a lot of people had major core wounding triggers come up. I had my own come up. And, a lot of the dynamics that I work within, with my own family and friends, we were all really in our shit. Um, and there's a way to go through it and there's a way to fight it. And I think what happens to a lot of us when shadow stuff comes up is we go into this tension and we constrict. But really, what we're being called to is to surrender and to allow those emotions to show up. So, I had my own triggering experiences, and I can know all of these things for when I'm working with others, but I need my own support systems to remind me what to do. And on Sunday into Monday, and even yesterday, I was really in that push and pull of constriction and surrender, and having to remind myself of what the nourishing thing to do was. And I'm very fortunate I have, a lot of friends who can remind me of those things. That's the support system that we need to work within. And I had a friend walk me through a lot of big feelings on Sunday. And I always feel extra vulnerable when I have to look to others to support me in those moments, but it's really part of our humanity. Um, and so when it comes to shadow work, you know, looking in the shadows, finding all of the things, all of the triggers, that's only part of it. But it's what you do with what you've found afterwards where the healing can begin, because those pieces, they're not all disposable. Yes, you want to dispose of some of them, and for the most part you just want to be like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, like I just want to get rid of it. But that's actually the problem of what has caused the shadow in the first place, is just wanting to bury it instead of taking it out and loving that part, offering that part compassion and care, because it's all a parts integration work in my view, in the way that I approach things in the healing work that I do. It's what love does this part need that it didn't have in the first place. And it can be hard to offer love and compassion to a part that you've been, trying to not acknowledge for who knows how many years, or, generationally. So if you've been struggling with everything that's been coming up, and it's, yes, we've had an eclipse and things come up, but it's not just eclipses that bring that stuff up. So it's all about integration. Same thing with people who use psychedelics to have a healing experience. Like I do advocate for that. I think that it's a really powerful tool. But just being in that experience is not the thing that's going to give the healing. It is being able to integrate your whole self back together after that experience. So, what comes up? What needs to be integrated? This is the integration phase, right? The shadow has all come out after the eclipses, and now it's like, okay, what do I need to bring back to myself, and what do I no longer need? So there is stuff to release, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm curious about what is resonating for you within this. What came up for you during the eclipse? Maybe you sailed through it. If you did, major kudos to you. If you didn't, what showed up for you? What crunchies got really brought to the surface? I'd love to know. Share with me in the comments, and let's see what kind of a chat we can have after this live. Hope you're having a great week. It should ease up a little bit by Friday, and otherwise I will talk to you later. Bye for now.